Basically, it's the story of two young guys driving through the desert, got a big box full of money, drug money, in their boot, when their car breaks down.
Hey, bro, what's going on?
No, misfire.
Now, what did you do to my car?
So they wind up spending the night at this holiday resort, and to make matters worse, as they move this box of money from the car to the chalet, the bottom of the box breaks. Of course, everybody sees, all the people braaiing and washing their boats and having their drinks on their stove. Everybody sees this. Everybody has a reason to want this money.
Yes, like.
So they gather the money back up and they run inside, they slam the door, they lock the door.
What the f***?
And outside, people begin to scheme.
Where do you think a couple of kids like that got hold of that kind of money?
They drop a ton of cash.
Oh, shit. How much?
So you got all the money that those guys dropped, right? Would you still marry Round Rob tomorrow?
Truth though.
I'd started calling it a crimedy because it's like a crime comedy. I knew that it had a very high farce kind of element.
Dirty, gritty, it's offbeat, it's cooked, it's deep fried like calamari, it's sexy.
We've got Wandile Malabatsi in the lead role as this very lovable, kind of wannabe, doesn't terribly want to be a gangster, but he's kind of been thrust into this situation. He's a motor mechanic by trade, and this pays better. His brother was a gangster, his brother died, he got the opportunity to drive a guy up to Joburg, collect a box of cash and drive the guy back. You know, we had some amazing guys who were reading for that part. But Wandile really had the innocence.
This is not for me.
What we needed was just, he was an innocent. He doesn't lie. That's one of the things in the movie. He says, I never saw the point. And somehow the things that happen around him are a result of that. And we needed somebody who had that innocence, who could really pull that off without trying too hard. And Wandile had all those qualities.
What are you talking about?
I think you know.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I really don't.
Juxtaposed against that, we've got comedian Kurt Schoenraad.
Really?
He's big, he's bold, he's over the top. What? You know, and he's constantly slapping Wandile around. And the relationship between the two of them really works. It really, you get a real nice sense of the sort of misguided big brother energy that comes from Kurt's character Richie Rich to Wandile's character Vista.
I'm sorry this, I'm sorry that. I'm tired of this sorry cut. I told you a long time ago it's too late for I'm sorry.
Stop! Oh, cuck.
And then coming into in the third lead part is Lilani Prinsen, who is a totally unknown young Afrikaans actress from Pretoria who read for the part, and just in the minute we saw her on tape, both me and Bonnie, the casting director, we were like, finally we found her.
So what's with all the bugs, Vista? You rob a bank or what?
Well, you don't waste any time. You like get right to the point.
In a way, she's kind of like your teen holiday romance fantasy. She matches Wandile's honesty with her kind of simplicity in the best sense of the word. She doesn't carry any baggage with her. She's just there. She meets this guy. She's intrigued by him because of his honesty. She's drawn to him.
This is weird. I hardly even know you.
And so you've got this little relationship forming there, which then turns into something quite important towards the end of the movie. So those are the three characters at the helm of the movie. And then you've got 23 other characters, most of whom are staying in the adjoining chalets.
I think for me the biggest surprise was having to play someone who I've never actually played a character that's not serious, and it's sort of a big change for me, and I was really nervous about that because I've done a lot of dramatic stuff and very serious characters, young adults, like a young man who's always dealing with a very serious issue.
I went through the script a couple of thousand times in my opinion, and I got Richie is a very good friend of mine now. Everyone has a Richie, everyone's got a friend that's a little sidetracked and who's quite a lekker ook and quite a lovable kind of cat, but he's a little off the rails, so I'm going to miss Richie.
The most exciting thing for me about Skeem is the cast and the talent that's in this film. What we've managed to do is pull together the most exciting actors in South Africa from all kinds of genres, but mostly comedy. And we've seen people doing just amazing lead parts in the kind of way we haven't seen a lot of them before. And it's the talent for me that's just so exciting.
You start realizing as an actor, and the things that they keep telling you all the time, that it's nothing like a small role. It's all about small characters. Because the ensemble was incredible. People that were put together to make this beautiful movie, it was just amazing. I mean, you had about Rapulana, you had about Prachabat, you had about Masilo, I mean, you had about Kurt. You know, there's so many people that were in part of this movie, about Denzel, comedians, funny people, Grant, Swampy. I mean, really great guns doing this movie. So when you watch it, I don't think that you'll be particularly in love with one specific character. I think you'll be in love with the work of a collective. And I think Tim did really great with that.
He is the sort of complicated gangster. He's the one who's soft and gentle, but he's a hitman.
She's a bride-to-be, and she's marrying a rather large, rotund man, and she's doing it for the money. And the opportunity comes along where they convince her that she's capable of getting out of the marriage by stealing some money.
The thing about it is, this is a guy running away from wherever he comes from in Johannesburg, and he finds himself in this place, this little resort, and he's thinking, that's the place to hide away for a while, since I've got this pajero that people from the bank might be wanting. And as he drives in there with his family, there's these two young people, in fact one boy carrying a box, and the box splits. As it splits, the money drops, but also little red flashing thing called a gizmo drops. Everybody's interested in the money. But Lucas is a businessman. He's thinking big. He looks at the gizmo, sends his son to go and get it, with the hope that it's worth a whole lot of money. Oops, whole lot of trouble. That's what it's worth.
What I do like about her is the surprise of her madness. She's kind of like on one level, and then suddenly she turns a corner. She becomes this other thing, you know, and I like that.
Pumzi is interesting because she has a lot of layers, you know, and you don't get everything up front. So there is that air of slight bit of mystery and a bit of, okay, quiet, but something there.
The thing about this this villain is there are so many comic traits, I suppose, that follow him around. Number one, the sidekick, who's quite clumsy, who breaks into into a house and goes through the door and falls over, but stands up real quickly with the gun and everything, and that is really comic. But in all of that madness, in all of that chaos, Nyoga always tries to maintain discipline, so to say.
I play Claude Jr. and he's the downtrodden member of three Claude families. It's a very sad character, which is much more interesting to play, I think.
Yeah, kind of very, very different. Hartley's very serious. I'm not. I don't take life seriously at all. I just really think life's a jewel, really.
He has a very good heart. He has a good heart of gold. He believes in karma, and he doesn't kill ants or anything, and he smokes the occasional bong.
Where's the cash?
I stashed it, man.
Where?
Guess.
I don't know.
The thing is that because everybody goes for the money at the same time, they all kind of get in each other's ways. And in this way, this is why it's like a French farce. It's like your classic noises off type of farce, where this door opens, somebody jumps into the cupboard there, somebody comes through here, then and the whole time everybody's bumping everybody else, everybody's thwarting everybody else's plans as everybody tries and scrambles to get their hands on the cash.
The biggest challenge we face as low-budget filmmakers is getting bang for buck, and really that's about putting our money on the screen and making sure that the film just looks amazing. So when audiences go to the cinema, we want them to go, wow, how did they do that? And can you believe this amazing film? And so Tim pulled really every trick out of his bag to make this film visually amazing.
Well, today is all about tracking. It's all about a chase between the mad, possessed, blood-splattered drinkers and our two leads trying to desperately get away. Essentially, it's the end of the movie. And it's very technical, it's very demanding, it's very cool.
In Harib, there's this resort, beautiful resort, kinda oldish. I mean, and we stayed there the whole time when we filmed the movie. And it was just great.
Harib was a great adventure, let me put it that way. I had never ever been to that place. I knew it existed, but I had never been to that place. But one thing that I liked about it was the fact that we were all kind of like in one place.
When we call a rap, everybody gets together. It's probably the first thing I've done with my experience, where you've got the crew, you've got the producer, the director, everybody has a drink afterwards.
The social scene is phenomenal. You know, when you put so many really fiery characters into one place and you kind of isolate them from the rest of the world. Of course we're going to have a couple of drinks and we're going to have a couple of chats.
First off, just the great vibe within the cast and the crew. It's just probably the most fun I've ever had on a movie shoot. And then also getting to play such an unusual character. It's amazing.
We have this little magical world, and it's work and it's fun, and you know, because you're in the middle of the crew, you have to cope with the people all the time. You can't run away, so you actually build up real relationships and friendships. And I think it's going to be sad, like not being around, like all the energy and all the people.
Tim is a very unique director in that he's one of those directors that I feel that he gets involved in everything, you know, and he's a great energy on set because he sort of keeps us going, you know, especially with a film like this where we're shooting at night so much. You know, your energies tend to dip, and when he comes on, he really gives us a great kick up the butt, you know, to get us going again. And you need that, you know, you really do.
I think he's an awesome director. He really knows what he wants.
I don't know how he does it because we work incredibly fast and there's a lot to do in a very short amount of time, but he is on top of everything.
He is extremely patient and he knows everything. He knows all the details of the movie. He's in control of absolutely every situation, which is really reassuring for an actor.
Tim is an absolutely awesome director. Probably the quintessential actor's director. He's able to give notes in a way in which you absolutely understand exactly what he's saying, but at the same time you don't feel that you are being moaned at or patronized. He is able to absolutely hit the nail on the head, and before you even thought about what you're going to do, you've already given the correct response.
I think that he brings an energy which really lends itself to the style of what this movie is. It's fast, it's energized, it's really funny, but at the same time it's very sensitive to everything. You really get a sense that there's nothing that he's not aware of, you know.
Tim expects the best from you immediately. I don't think there's room for it, especially in this kind of pace, to be going or not be on your mark or not be on your point, and that means that you have to focus, and it's wonderful.
Working with Tim Green has been absolutely amazing. He is brilliant. I think like most directors would like tell you, no, this is not right, but Tim like leads you like to go find that moment or the emotion or whatever.
I'm really excited about this film because for me this film, Skeem, is the coming of age of South African films. We've been through a generation of 10 years of making first-time films, and we're on to the next wave now where we've learned from our mistakes and we're making entertaining films, not issues films, and I think every South African's going to want to see this film because it's just so exciting.